Hi everyone! Are you ready to have some fun with Deco foil? How about having some fun without a machine? All right, then let's head on over to the craft table and have some fun. This is Mixed Media Medium. It is a ThermoWeb product by Rebecca Meyer Designs, and I was hoping that it would focus for you so that you could read it. But it's not going to, and I don't want to spend all day here with you guys just waiting for this to focus. But it is, let me open this up here. It is kind of like a gel. And what it's used for is with your stencils. And you can also use it without a stencil, which is actually what I did right here. I used a paintbrush and just put little dots all over. And then you wait for about an hour for it to become clear and tacky. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to use the stencil. I've got a piece of white cardstock underneath, and I've used this purple tape that is also a ThermoWeb product by iCraft, and this stuff is awesome. This is better than painter's tape or anything like that. It doesn't leave any residue behind, and it holds really good, and if you don't get any gunk on it, it's reusable. So I've used it today to not only hold my stencil down, but to block off the stuff that I didn't want to use. So really quickly here, let me get this covered up to show you how to use it. It's just like anything else you would use similar to this for your stencils. You just make sure that you get it really good in every area. And I know you're thinking that I just showed you something like this in the last video, but what I showed you before, we used with a machine. Today we are not using any machine. We are not using a laminator. We're not using an iron. We're not using a printer. No machine at all. Okay, I think I've got this covered pretty good. And I'm going to remove my stencil and go wash it. And I will be back in about an hour, but you won't know it's been an hour because, well, it'll only seem like it's been a second. Now, wasn't that the quickest hour ever? Okay, so it's nice and clear. And let me see here. Got a piece of foil. The foil I'm using this time is Dazzling Orange. And I'm just going to lay it right across there and smooth it on. I can feel the little bumps underneath. And make sure I get it really good. The cool thing is if you don't get it really good, you could just put the foil back on the places that you missed, whether you're using this technique or any of the techniques. Okay, hopefully I've got it all. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, because I want it to be perfect the first time I pull the paper off, or not the paper, but the foil. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I think that one needs a little bit more. See how that worked? All I did was do that, and now it's covered. Same thing right here. Okay, well, I'll just take a minute here and make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, let's try it again. See how that works? I just put a little bit more on there and voila. In fact, I'm going to actually show you. So you can see on this one and the one next to it that I can use a little bit more. So I'm just going to rub that on there. Rub a little bit more on there. And you can see that I got this one And that one still needs a little bit more. But that's all you have to do. Don't ever feel like, oh, it didn't work and it's ruined. It's not the case. It just means that you need to put the foil back on it. So I'm really glad I had the opportunity to show you that. And this is going to make a really cool card as soon as I figure out exactly what I'm doing. Maybe I'll have it done by the end of the video and I will be able to show you. This is a glue stick, and you can use any old glue stick that you have. So I'm going to show you how to use a glue stick with the Deco foil and get a variety of looks and techniques. This is just one that I've already done, and I use the glue stick and the Deco foil for right around these edges. And yes, you're saying, oh, but it's not filled in all the way. That's correct. That's the look I was going for. As you can tell by looking at the rest of this card, perfection was not my goal. Okay, so let me see what I can show you first. Here's something really simple. If you just want to add a really pretty streak across whatever project you're working on, doesn't matter whether it's cards or scrapbooking, some sort of mixed media project, even something on a canvas. That's what's so cool about not having to use any type of machine, is you can use it on something like a canvas or a frame. So what I used on this one is silver shattered glass, and it's one of my favorites. Got a little piece right here, and let me see. I'm gonna do it on this piece of black right here so that it shows up really good. And I'm just going to make a streak across. Put that down, so see if you could see that. So just a little streak, just something random. That's all you have to do. And then take your foil, obviously that pretty sparkly side up, not that side, but that side up. And we'll just lay it right across there. And we're going to rub it down really good to make sure that it adheres to all of the glue. And when I lift this up, it will be, you see how it's not completely covered everywhere? That is the look that you're going to get. So let's see what we've got. And you could rub it down a little bit more if you feel the need, which I kind of did right there. There we go. And you get something that cool. And you're thinking, well, that's just boring. No, it's not, especially if you just want to add a little streak of pizzazz, or you're working on a mixed media project. This is awesome. Okay, let's try something else fun. So let's see. This time I'm going to use some of the purple tape. And I'm going to tape off sections. Okay, so I didn't get that one taped off so good. I'm really not good at tearing stuff. Let's see. There we go. We're going to call that good. And then I think I want another one to go another direction. So let's get off another piece here. This stuff is really sturdy. So I want something to go that direction. Okay, there we go. I'm just making something random here, all right? Get out your glue stick. And rub it all over. Being that this is on white, it's actually hard for me to see if I'm getting it everywhere. But we're going to pretend that I am, because all I'm trying to do is give you an idea. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make it perfect. While I'm doing this on here, I will point out that somebody asked about doing this with a stencil. And what happens is the glue stick catches on the edges of the stencil, you know, the edges of the design. And for me, it kind of makes a mess. If you want to try this with a stencil, you can, but it did not work really good for me. Okay, now, probably got so much on there, it's kind of gooey. But I'm going to be using these two colors here, and they are Brilliant Blue and Twinkling Pink, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And you can let the glue sit a minute. You know, it's going to stay tacky. You don't want to let it completely dry, but you can let it sit a minute. And let me grab a scrap here. This one looks about the right size for right here. And just make sure that it's on there really good. I'm actually going to let it sit there a minute. And I'll put this corner right there. Look at that. I had some on my fingers. Now it's on the top of this. Oh well, it's not going to matter. And I have another little scrap over here. And I'll put it right down here. Does this look like fun or what? Come on. You know you want to play with glue and tape and your scraps of Deco foil, because this technique is great for scraps, even smaller than what I'm using here. Okay, are we ready to see what happens? Let's peel this off. And let's peel this off. And we'll peel this off. Okay, now let me get this off there. You see how easily that tape comes up? It doesn't tear the paper or anything. And I even rubbed it on really good. So now I'm going to peel it off from here. And I'm going to set that aside because it's reusable. This one, because I don't waste anything. Okay, now I just created a cool little random design. I could have made skinnier ones and more of them in different colors, but you can really get creative with this stuff. It's just pretty awesome. And yes, with the glue stick, it's really difficult to get a solid line. You're going to really have to rub it on there a lot, but I personally like this look. In fact, it's one of my favorite looks. So that's another way you can use it. Now, for you mixed media maniacs out there, I'm going to show you a card I made for my daughter's graduation. And I'm not going to walk you through doing it, but I'll let you know that I used this embossing paste and I put it along the edge of her card, and I made sure that it had little bumps and waves and everything in it, and then I let it dry. And you see all that beautiful silver sparkle all over the place on there? What I did was, after that embossing paste was dry, I took the glue stick and I ran the glue stick over it, and it stuck to all of the raised areas of that embossing paste. And then I used the beautiful silver shattered glass, but you can use any color you want, and you can also use any color embossing paste that you want. And it stuck to the raised areas, creating that gorgeous effect. I mean, seriously, I'm looking forward to making some sort of canvas mixed media creation using that technique. So there you go. Another way to use a glue stick. Can you believe it? It's awesome. So these are just a couple examples of what you can do with the mixed media medium and transfer foil. Remember, these are just the dots that I added with a paintbrush. So that's really cool. And this is what I used. Oh, look at, now the camera focuses on it so you can see it. And here are just a few little examples of what you could do with a glue stick and transfer foil. You can just create whatever you want. This is actually excellent for mixed media projects. It doesn't have to be something flat because it's not going through a machine. And you can use like purple tape to create, designs. And my favorite of all is using the embossing paste to create a texture and then use the glue stick over the top where it just grabs onto the raised areas, and then you could adhere the transfer foil to that. So there are so many possibilities of things that you can do, so many ways to use transfer foil without a machine, so many ways to use it for, gosh, like I said, cards, scrapbooking, mixed media, canvases, any craft you can imagine, you can find a way to use transfer foil without a machine.
Thank you all for watching today, and I hope you are enjoying this series on Fun with Deco Foil. And if you are, please leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up. I'd love to know what your thoughts are and your opinions, and I always love hearing from you anyway. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.